Okay, let's dive in. You know how sometimes you use something like every single day, maybe for years, and then one day you spot this tiny little feature you just never noticed before, like a button or a little tab,
Yeah.
something really subtle,
Oh, absolutely. Happens all the time.
and you just think, what's that actually for?
Exactly. We get so focused on the main job of an object, we can totally miss these smaller design bits that are often, pretty clever and there for a good reason.
Well, that's precisely what sparked this deep dive. We got a question from one of you listening.
Okay.
They were asking about their Stoma bag. Apparently, they had been using the same kind for like 3 years and only just noticed it had this tiny little filter on it.
Right. A common spot for these filters.
And their question was really simple. What is this for? And am I meant to be doing something with it?
That's a great question because looking at the sources, it's really clear they're not the only one wondering. Lots of people use bags with these filters without maybe fully realizing they're there or, what they actually do. But once you get what this little component is about, it really can make a difference to comfort and confidence.
Right. So our mission today is to unpack this seemingly minor detail, the Stoma bag filter.
Yeah.
What it is, the problem it's solving, and crucially, how knowing about it and using it the right way can genuinely improve things day to day.
Sounds good. So let's start right there. Based on what the sources say, what is this filter fundamentally?
Its core job, according to the materials, is pretty straightforward. It's there to let gas out of the bag.
Okay. Releasing gas.
But, and this is the important bit, it's designed to do that in a really controlled way. And crucially, an odorless way. It's not just like an open hole.
And that controlled, odorless release. That's where the smart part comes in, isn't it? The sources often point to one key material inside these filters.
Activated charcoal.
That's the one. Activated charcoal. You see it used in all sorts of filters.
Yeah, for water, air purifiers.
Exactly. So the gas that builds up inside the bag has to pass through this layer of activated charcoal. And charcoal has this incredibly porous structure, loads of surface area, which traps and neutralizes the odor molecules. So the gas that eventually vents out is, well, odor-free. It's all about managing that natural process discreetly.
Okay, managing gas discreetly. That immediately makes me think about the problem it's trying to prevent. There was a term in the sources.
Yeah.
Ballooning.
Yes, ballooning. It's pretty much what it sounds like.
The bag inflating.
Yeah. Gas builds up inside the pouch, maybe faster than it can escape, and the bag starts to puff out like a little balloon.
And I can definitely see why you wouldn't want it.
Oh, absolutely not. It can feel uncomfortable, for one. It might be noticeable under your clothes, which understandably causes anxiety for a lot of people. And sometimes that pressure buildup can even put a strain on the seal, how the bag sticks to your skin.
Right, which is the last thing you need. So the filter is basically this quiet little worker, just letting gas out bit by bit to keep the bag flat.
That's the idea. Working behind the scenes to maintain a low profile and stop that internal pressure from becoming an issue.
Okay, so going back to our listener, they used the bag for 3 years without even noticing the filter. The bag was still doing its main job collecting output, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. The filter doesn't affect the basic collection function. That works regardless.
Right.
And this is really the key takeaway from the sources, understanding the filter means you can use the bag more effectively. It helps you get the best performance out of it, especially regarding comfort and discretion.
It's like the difference between something just working and something working really well for you.
Precisely. Optimizing its function.
Okay, now this is where things got interesting in the research. Something that seems really easy to miss.
Yeah.
How do you make sure this filter actually keeps working? Because the sources all mention this tiny accessory. Like a little sticker or tab that comes with the bag.
Ah, yes, the sticker. It's absolutely vital, but its purpose is often either misunderstood or just completely overlooked.
So what is its purpose?
Its main job, according to everything we read, is to cover the filter, specifically when you're doing things involving water.
Water. Like taking a shower or going swimming. Why cover it? Does it need to breathe?
It seems counterintuitive, doesn't it? But the reason is purely practical. Water can basically clog the filter mechanism.
Okay.
Remember the activated charcoal we mentioned? If that gets soaked, or if the outer membrane of the filter gets blocked by water, it just stops working. It can't let the gas through anymore.
So the sticker is like a temporary waterproof shield.
Exactly. You put it on just before you get in the shower or pool to protect the filter.
And then, presumably, you need to take it off again afterwards.
Yes. That's the crucial second step. As soon as you're done with the water, and ideally once the bag surface is dry, you peel that sticker right off.
So the filter is exposed again and can get back to doing its job.
Precisely. If you leave the sticker on, you're blocking the filter yourself.
Okay, so what happens if you get this wrong? If you, say, misunderstand the sticker? The sources mentioned a couple of common pitfalls.
They did. Scenario 1, probably the most frequent mistake, is just leaving that sticker on all the time. Maybe thinking it's part of the bag or just forgetting about it.
Oh, right. So you've effectively just disabled the filter you didn't even know you had, maybe.
Exactly. You've covered the vent. So the gas builds up, it has nowhere to go.
And you get ballooning.
Yeah.
The very problem the filter was meant to solve.
You got it. Leads straight back to ballooning.
Okay, so definitely don't leave it covered all the time. What's the other way things can go wrong?
Well, the opposite mistake is never using the sticker at all, just showering or swimming with the filter exposed.
And as you said, the water can clog it then.
Right. The filter material gets wet, potentially blocked, and it stops functioning correctly. So even though you haven't intentionally covered it, it's effectively blocked anyway.
Leading to the same problems, gas buildup, maybe odor issues if it can't filter properly.
Mm-hmm. Either way, incorrect sticker use means the filter isn't doing its job.
Wow. So this tiny, easy to ignore sticker is actually kind of the key to making the whole filter system work properly.
It really is. A small step, but it has a big impact on the bag's performance and ultimately your comfort.
So day to day, how would someone know if their filter is working as intended? And assuming they're using the sticker correctly, of course.
The clear signs, based on the sources, are pretty simple observations. Firstly, does the bag stay relatively flat most of the time? You're not getting significant, noticeable puffing out or ballooning.
Okay, no ballooning.
And secondly, are you noticing any odors coming from the bag itself? If the bag stays fairly flat and odor isn't an issue, the filter is likely doing what it's supposed to.
Makes sense. But what if those things are happening? You know, you're using the sticker right, taking it off after showers, but you're still getting ballooning or maybe noticing smells?
That's definitely a sign something's not quite right. It could mean a few things. Maybe the filter has become permanently blocked somehow despite your best efforts.
Okay.
Or, and this is important, it might just mean that this particular type of bag or this specific filter design isn't the best match for you personally.
Right. Which brings up another point from the sources. These filters aren't all identical, are they?
No, definitely not. There are variations. Some filters might have extra built-in protection around them. You might see things like a layer of hydrocolloid material near the filter.
Hang on. Hydrocolloid, can you just clarify what that is in this context?
Sure. Hydrocolloid is that soft, sort of gel-like material you often find in the skin barrier part of the Stoma bag. It's good for skin and it can handle a bit of moisture.
Okay.
So having some around the filter might offer a little extra buffer against, say, light moisture, but the sticker is still generally needed for proper water immersion, like showering.
Gotcha. So hydrocolloid buffers may be different filter layers.
Yeah, some might have dual layer filters, perhaps with the different materials for different stages of filtration or protection.
And these different designs exist because, well, everyone's different.
Exactly that. People produce different amounts of gas, the consistency of their output varies, their activity levels are different. So a filter design that works brilliantly for one person might not be quite as effective for someone else.
Which explains why trying out different bags is so common.
Absolutely. Finding the right bag and filter combination that suits your specific body, your output, and your lifestyle is key. That often involves trying a few different options.
Okay, so let's try and summarize the really key points for our listener who has the original question and anyone else listening who uses a bag with one of these filters.
Right. First point. If your bag has a filter, usually looks like a small patch or vent, it is meant to be there. It has a job to do.
And that job is primarily managing gas buildup and controlling odor discreetly.
Yeah. Second point. That little sticker that often comes with it, it's not just spare packaging, it's important.
Use it to cover the filter during water activities, showers, baths, swimming.
Mm-hmm. But third, and maybe most importantly, remember to peel the sticker off afterwards once the bag is dry.
Don't leave it on permanently or the filter can't work.
Exactly. Fourth point. Pay attention to how the bag behaves. Is it staying relatively flat? Are odors controlled?
If you're having ongoing issues with ballooning or smells, even if you think you're using the sticker correctly,
then it's a signal. It might mean the filter is blocked, or maybe this bag just isn't the ideal one for you. And that's okay.
and in that case.
The sources consistently recommend talking to a Stoma care nurse. They're the experts who can assess your situation, understand your needs, and help you explore other bag types or filters that might work much better for you.
So it really is fascinating. What started as a question about this tiny, easily missed feature,
Yeah, the filter.
turns out to be connected to managing comfort, discretion, confidence, all really significant aspects of daily life when you're using a Stoma bag. And understanding how it works, and especially how the little sticker works with it, is key.
It really highlights how sometimes these small, almost hidden design elements can make a surprisingly big difference when you know what they're for and how to use them properly.
It absolutely does. And, this whole deep dive got me thinking. If understanding just one tiny filter can potentially improve things so much, how many other little features are there on all sorts of things we use every day that we just completely overlook?
That's a great point.
What other benefits or improvements might be hiding in plain sight, just waiting for us to pause and ask that simple question? What is this actually for? Definitely something to ponder.